Nissan just killed it with the all-new Nissan Note e-Power. So today we're working this 2022 Nissan Note. How you doing? Customer brought this vehicle for a full inspection. She wants to inspect the hybrid system. She wants to inspect the vehicle. She wants the very best advice about applying the best preventive maintenance to this new Note e-Power. So let's check it out. This one is actually the all-tech crossover version, which is, of course, I just have a leather seats, a little different magnesium wheels, but the vehicle's kind of beautiful. But let's open it up right away. Pretty spacey, but what you guys really want to know is what is under the hood. So let's open it up right away. Here we go. All right, let's check it out. Indeed, lots of improvement and everything is renewed, except still using the 1.2 cylinder HR12 engine. Something that I'm kind of amazed is that watching the inverter assembly, which is a complete redesigned inverter assembly, I'm coming inside and look, you know what's saying over there, right? 6WK is what I read. First generation uses the 5WK transaxle, and this one uses the 6WK, which is the brand new redesigned it's actually two electric motors transaxle, okay? Like I can see over here, this is the DC outlet for the AC compressor. This is this DC outlet and inlet coming from the high voltage battery. This is the AC connection that goes directly to the electric motor, but the other one from the big electric motor, I'm not seeing, and I think it's just a direct connection underneath the inverter. Besides that, 1.2 cylinder HR12 engine with two injectors per cylinder, okay? The air filter, that's kind of changed. Let me show you the new air filter, which is, I'll be very honest, it's not my favorite, but why are they doing this filter so tiny? Look, okay. And the other great thing is, look, an air brake booster system, which is definitely an improvement because you don't have electric motor booster control, none of those scraps. Everything works with just a vacuum sensor that when you need to boost the brake system, you use the hybrid system. This is one of the greatest things that Nissan e-Power implemented. Besides this, we're looking for the junction box assembly. Where do we jump start the vehicle if we're having a trouble? Right here, this is the positive pin, and then of course the negative will go to chassis ground. And another topic, which is the engine cooling system, and then of course the hybrid system cooling, which is completely separate. Remember that you need a cooling system for the radiator, for the engine of course, and also a cooling system for the inverter assembly. Remember that in order to control the electric motors, you need to use a bunch of huge IGBTs or transistors that produces a lot of heat. Besides that, both electric motors and Nissan e-Power system is also liquid cooling with the same hybrid system. Jose, pretty nice, the vehicle's beautiful indeed, but what about the hybrid system? Let's check it out. Well, in order for us to access the hybrid system, let me show you. We have a big problem here, Houston. You have to remember that the manufacturer it is evident that the manufacturer makes this vehicle for a non-serviceable hybrid system, although it should be an air cooling system. But the only way to find that out is we have to take out the seats, we have to take out all this center console, we have to take out all the upholstery. There's nothing we can do, so let's take it out. Because it's truly evident that, look, we have a hybrid system as the very same as the old Note. We're coming to the back because, of course, we have to disconnect the 12-volt battery. You guys won't believe what I found. Know what this is, right? Reason number one why the high voltage battery goes bad in hybrid vehicles. Now, in this case, Note e-Power. Check it out. You just need this tiny little accident to happen to look. Even the marks there. Ta-da! So can you imagine that this stupid piece of paper can just kill your high voltage battery? Well, this is it. So now checking upon inside the cabin of the Note e-Power, we have 1 and 2 hybrid battery air inlet with absolutely no filtering at all, which means exactly what you guys already know from my previous video about e-Power. If you don't keep it clean inside, dust and debris will come over here directly to your cells, and yes, it's gonna make the battery heat up over time. That's how it works. Now let's check it out. We got no more option. Something interesting is this is the DC to DC converter, which is now an extractable component. It's not inside the battery anymore. So this is the high voltage system of the new ePower node. So where is the cooling fan? Right there. Why did they put this stupid fan in this horrible location? Oh boy. Oh yes, I hate them too. All right, so let's see. So we have a 1.54 kilowatt hour. So this battery is actually bigger, okay, when it comes to the power, but the voltage is a little less. Before touching anything over here, I'm going to take out the service plug grip. Thank you. Let me get you out of here. So we kind of know it's safe to work in this component now. So what I'm going to do is we're going to clean the high voltage battery cooling fan. One thing for sure, they didn't make it easy to be a serviceable component. So let's continue. The only thing I suppose I have to take out is the DC to DC converter, which is this one and this mounting in order to take out the battery cooling fan. So how is the cooling fan of the all new 2022 Nissan Note ePower that's been driving for a little long already? Let's check it out. Is it dirty or not? The only way to find out, it's open it up. Give me a second. There it is. Let me take it out. Show yourself. There it is. Look. Is not clean, you know. So the new Nissan Note ePower uses a battery with a little more power and less voltage. And the cooling fan is actually smaller, but still with absolutely no filtering. I'm afraid that this cooling fan eventually will need some preventive maintenance as well if you want to prevent your high voltage battery from overheating and this fan losing efficiency. Something truly important about ePower system is that the high voltage battery is not used like to drive the vehicle in EV mode, only at very low speed and of course start-stop system. But the most of the time, okay, the motor generator number one uses the high voltage battery as a huge capacitor, both feeding the motor generator number two, because remember this vehicle always drives in electric mode. So meaning that every time you accelerating this vehicle, you send it a bunch of current, a bunch of power coming in and out at the same time of the high voltage battery, which turns into heat. Hybrid Solution Diagnostics. Don't forget to follow if you like this content. It is sadly the very same system of the Serena. And this, you can take out the clip, but the fan is not extractable because it's completely melted into the shaft. So I'm gonna have to clean it right here. And now she's clean. Ready to assemble back. It's just everything backwards. Here we go. How easy would it be if it would be just like a cover over here, just to service the battery, fill the battery cooling fan? But no, you have to take about absolutely everything in ePower. That's the only thing that I don't like. So anyway, the cooling fan is as good as it gets, and this outlet over here is the outlet for the DC to DC converter, which is already clean. And just finishing to clean, this is a kind of catcher, okay, that catches debris and stuff before entering the air inside the battery. Okay, so it has one in both sides. Okay, the other thing is that this is the battery inlet with absolutely no filter, but I think you can make your own filter by this, but the only problem is that you will have to clean them more often. But anyway, let's assemble this. So anyway, both pans from the sides of the battery, they're clean. The battery cooling fan is ready. We have to do a little detailing cleaning for this car, but then I have to plug first the battery inlet from both sides so I'm able to clean. Obviously assembling the service plug grip as well. Here we go. It only goes in one position. That's it. There you go. There you go, as good as it gets. Now this is not my favorite cooling system, but this is sadly how it is. Clean as it gets. Here we go. That's it. We could say this is fully serviced and ready to go. So this is how you service the high voltage battery cooling fan, the air intake in the Note ePower. Yes, I'm afraid Nissan didn't make this system to be serviceable often. I think this is just the marketing stuff, but that's how it is. So how often would Jose recommend you guys to do this type of service. I would say as long as you keep it clean, you can go every year or every couple of years. It's only lithium-ion battery. You do not need to recharge. You don't need to recondition, rebalance, none of those things, because lithium-ion battery has a self-balancing system, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stick around for more tips. It's time to assemble back everything. Bye-bye.